Hey, what's up guys? And today we're bringing you an April 1st, 2015 banlist discussion video. And today we have the members of isca31 here. Got Tyler, Rob, and Mike. And they have some good insight on the game. They've been playing for a long time. They're going to share their thoughts on the ban list with us.
Okay, I guess we'll start with the forbidden cards. So Dragon Rulers are finally gone.
I'm upset.
Yes, but with a lot of this new stuff that's coming out, especially like the Red Eyes support, that rank 7 that they got. I don't even know what it does. All I know is just like it negates stuff and it burns for like 500, but it's like really good. And having these guys around and then just spamming that out, and people thought Draco Sack was bad in Dragon Ruler format.
Yeah, it almost has like the effect of what Majesty's Fiend should have been, or like what I thought he was. That whenever a card effect, like a card to be activated, your opponent loses 500 points. Yeah. So that automatically puts him on a clock and just goes, if you don't get rid of this, you have...
And he can't die.
Many? Yeah, he can't die. You have how many?
Wait, what?
You can't destroy my card effects.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, the card's ridiculous. So, I mean, Dark Matter, I guess, wasn't even an issue because it never really saw a lot of play in the OCG. But,
it did for a little
I mean,
bit.
it did, yeah, but with the release of the Red Eye support, I guess these cards just had to go.
It essentially, like, we've talked about this on our channel a couple times, it essentially forbids Konami from making any good dragons while they're legal. So, like, if you make any good archetype that's a dragon, you can just throw a blaster in there,
or any kind of like archetype or mono attribute deck. I know like there's jokes about like playing Tidal in Necroz, but you know, if something does happen, like you totally could, and that's like it has no business being in there. But the fact that you could play it as just a beater.
Yeah, we can go to a more serious matter though. How hard actually Mermails got hit indirectly. Yes. They lost an unlimited resource of a 2600 beater. I mean, the deck wasn't very good regardless, but that's just almost like a nail in the coffin.
We're like a year past Mermails at least.
Right.
So I guess that's enough on Dragon Ruler. Snatch Steal. Mike, how do you feel about Snatch Steal being
It's my
banned?
favorite card in the game, man.
Yeah,
I'm sad to see it go. I can't use my misprint anymore.
Oh god.
There's a heavy use of sarcasm. It is so thick you can feel it in the air.
Do you guys care about that Snatch Steal? Whose Snatch Steal is that?
That's mine. I have like 4 more in my binder. I don't care about what happens. Is that? Make sure it's not the Starfoil one.
It's a starter deck one.
Okay, whatever. Yeah. So that's
that card needs to go. I mean,
so that sums up his feelings. About
yeah, when that card came back, we were all excited because like, okay, Super Poly's gone. Now every deck has almost like a Super Poly. It's like, okay, activate auto win.
Right.
But then it was just too good.
Right.
It was degenerate. It's too degenerate of a card.
My favorite times with Snatch Steal was at YCS Charleston, where I was playing against like Burning Abyss, and they would go tribute off a guy from Majesty's Fiend, and like that's a good play, especially against like Shaddolls. So when they have one face down, and I go summon Denko, lock down that back row, Snatch Steal your Majesty's Fiend, I just win, and that's.
I don't know. I think my Snatch Steal Dante with Shaddolls was pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
When I Snatch Steal Dante and I built Shaddol Fusion, so then I L Fusion for Construct, sent Core with Squamata, got back Shaddol Fusion, sent Dragon with Construct, pop, Snatch Steal, give them back their Dante, and then I activated the Shaddol Fusion that I got back with Core for free. And that's just ridiculous. So those kind of things shouldn't happen. You know, I had no reason to win that game except for the Snatch Steal, taking the Dante and milling. I think that card just lets bad players continue to just win
just
out
like
of nowhere.
that.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it just should not have happened.
Yeah, but like, all in all, like having it banned is like really where it should be. It was almost like being able to keep the monster. Like the life points, just the life point game doesn't matter.
Life points are meaningless.
That's a resource.
But being able to just take it, especially if it's like a game-changing card, like Majesty's Fiend or something else. Even just like there's so many things that are just like you take it and it's just game over.
I think we should move on to the limited cards.
And there's a lot of them.
Yeah, where do we start? I guess we'll start with the erratas.
Start with the erratas,
Yeah. It's 5, right?
Yeah, these three aren't as good. They really don't bring much to the table.
Oh no, that's a continue. I thought it was a field spell.
This is a continuous spell.
So
a couple of people I've talked to have been talking about playing this with like Jar Greeds and shit.
I guess
just as upstart goblins.
Yeah.
but I think it's pointless.
Right. I have a question though, because it says like it's new text is like you can activate one trap card the turn it says, like once per turn.
It's once per turn.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. I don't know how good it's going to be.
I mean, I like it with Reckless.
Reckless, it's pretty good. And decks where traps can, add board presence or field presence to you, so maybe activate some like Ritual Beast, search ambush, set ambush, activate ambush, put more guys on the field, continue your plays. That could be pretty cool.
That actually
It's
would be
cool.
pretty cool.
It's just
Yeah,
it's the
I
fact that
just
it
think-
doesn't do anything on its own.
It's an inherent -1 on its own, and then if you draw like the Drive Read, for example, it's just too slow and it's just not good.
Yeah, it's slow.
Alright. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's probably not going to make too much of a difference except in like degenerate decks.
Exchange of the Spirit.
It's terrible.
Yeah,
it's
I know
bad.
it's terrible
not
now. It really wasn't even like fantastic to begin with. Like there were the silly like FTKs that you had with it, like some variant of Empty Jar. But I think now it's errata. I don't even know what it is. It's like both players need
Both
to
players
have.
need 15 or more on their
Yeah, so
grave.
now it's just like pretty much unplayable, and you can only activate like once per duel. So it's like who cares?
It's not good.
But good news, Mermail players, even though title's banned, you do have a new water monster to play with
One turn.
for one use
Well,
period.
you can get tricky with it because it's during the next end phase. I think you banish one, so if it's not in your graveyard, you can use it again.
So if it's in your hand, it doesn't get banished, or if it's like on the field.
It's after you use the effect to add it back to your hand during the next end phase, something like this. You have to banish the Sinister Serpent from your graveyard. If it's not there, you can do it again,
And then just keep looping it.
and you can loop it. It's just very slow.
I think
You can basically use it every 2 to 3 turns.
I even think that its original text was way too slow for the game now.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it probably could have come back with its regular text. It wouldn't have made a difference. Like, who cares about Mermails?
Yeah, cool. Mermail's got a free discard outlet.
I mean, the only other thing that I could think of maybe would be Burning Abyss, just
I
because.
throw in Burning Abyss.
Yeah,
with the original text.
that would be about it. Because like,
Yeah,
you
they,
just have a
did, yeah, they,
constant
had, they had
discard
infinite
fodder.
discard fodder, yeah.
You mill it real
I mean,
quick.
they already pretty much do.
Yeah,
but
this
that's
just
a different story.
adds insult to injury
It's
to
just,
like how
it's,
easy
I
it
played
is to
so
do.
many Phoenix Twins and Karma Cuts and
Yeah.
everything.
But let's talk about the two real cards that came back. Crush and Ring. Okay, I think Crush is.
We've been playing around with Crush.
I don't know.
Card.
I think it's probably gonna be the best trap of next format. I think it's gonna be infinitely better than Ring. I think Crush automatically.
I think they're both good.
They're both incredible.
Oh yeah,
but
they're both like ridiculously good.
crushing into Necros after they summon Manju Senju is just insane. Like that'll absolutely stop their plays.
Yeah, or opening it with like he likes to do.
Yeah.
So often.
And should also example, it's so easy being able to just go Mathematician, send Skomata, send Falco, set Crush against Necros or against the Mirror Match or Clifford for people who are still playing Clifford. Like this card just absolutely destroys it because everything is 2400 attack and
Yeah,
higher.
I mean
in the hand.
it's good against everything that's not Burning Abyss, and that's pretty much what it comes down to. And like especially, I think like heroes probably might have a little bit going for them, especially having Crush Card with Dark Law, and they have so many targets for Crush Card that Crush Card and Dark Law is just it's like absolutely
What are the targets other than Shadow Mist?
mostly just Shadow Mist, but they can
There's
also
so many ways to get to it,
just
I
throw
guess, is the
rank.
point.
What?
There's so many ways to get to it.
Right, and they just have like that easy access to Rhapsody.
Right, that's
So
the only thing I would
yeah, so
think
they can
about.
even just go like Goblinberg, Bubble Man, set Crush, and like overlay for
Rhapsody
Rhapsody.
double hit both their mirrors and grave. And then
Yeah, that's why I think
into
Necros are
oblivion.
going to be playing Crush even a lot.
Oh yeah.
Because if you have the opportunity to make Rhapsody, being able to Rhapsody, like you said, their spells away or like their extra monsters away, and cut off their resources and then crush them, I think that's just insane.
Yeah, that's like.
I think that's just way too good. And then Ring is Ring. You can't win off it anymore.
You have,
I guess
to,
Which is fair.
you have to also activate it only on your opponent's turn.
Only
Now.
on your
It's
Oh
opponent's
just
no,
a
my
trap,
trap
like,
has to be
yeah.
activated in my opponent's
I think
turn.
that's,
oh
like-
man.
Yeah, and it can only hit your opponent's monsters, but most of the time you'll probably use it as some form of disruption.
Yeah.
It'll be like just put you there, and like you can even get like super degenerate. Just like you can pop it, and then on your turn just like cowboy.
Yeah, being able to do that, being able to bring up Necros again, hit their Valkyries if they go Valkyries, try to make a Valkyries play.
Leaves them open for Trish.
Yeah,
a lot of
it
damage.
leaves them open for Trish in the mirror.
Oh,
It stops them from drawing the cards. It's 2,900 damage, and then like leaves their monster there. It really slows them down a lot. Or stopping the Lavavel chain, or it's another out to the Jin that just gets rid of the monster completely and then burns for more.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's really good. With the new way that the dual ending thing works, because I know that it now says that you take damage, comma, then your
The whole
opponent takes
point
damage.
between the new ruling
Would be
and
this,
this
like-
card is that you can kill yourself before you kill them.
That's what I thought.
You can't draw with this card anymore.
I think that's good. I'm really glad they did that. I think it's like a really healthy card to bring back to the game too. More channelable traps I think are really important to have.
I'm probably playing it pretty much every night.
Oh yeah, I think it's an
Yeah,
absolute
easily.
staple. I guess
Right.
next would be. Well,
Send
oh
it.
yeah, I know.
It
They were
is
doing so
ugly
much
as a
this.
kid.
I know we still got more limited cards.
Yeah, the next limited tour guide.
I'm happy about that.
I'm really happy about it. I don't think they hit Burning Abyss hard enough, but with the future support coming out in the next set, I guess they really couldn't hit the deck too hard.
Don't talk to me about couldn't hit the deck as I screw everything up there.
Oh yeah, Necros
But
and Brownek, which
well,
we'll get back to
they're
in a
new,
minute.
but like, I think this is really good because it stops like their sack plays. Like, there's been a lot of times where you're just like, okay, I'm in total control of this game. Then you just go
Top
tour
deck,
guide off
tour
the-
guide, yeah.
tour guide off the top. It's like the same thing as prep.
Yeah,
almost.
it's really good. Which I
I
guess will
think-
lead us right
Except
into
prep is not searchable.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, the
true.
fact that tour guide's searchable, I think at one it's still really strong. I think
Yeah, and it's an
one is the place
enabler
for it.
Yeah, I mean it brings out your boss monster, which is an enabler for your other little guys, and then they just set up. It's I think
And being able to just tutor up crush targets and everything.
that's another thing. They could
Like the
not
good
have
old
this
days.
card at 3 with crush card.
So then I guess
Turn
that'll
around a
bring us
crush
to
target
prep.
anyway.
I mean, yeah, with Burning Abyss.
Right.
Yeah,
But
either
whatever.
Well,
way,
actually, pretty much
either
every
way
deck you
you're
want to crush
searching
now.
it
That's true. That's a bad point.
Do you think Burning Abyss is going to start main decking Mistake more now because they're not going to have
Probably.
anything to search?
Probably.
out. Why not? It's alright. Finish the limited, we can go into a part 2.
All right, prep. I think this was an absolutely needed hit. This card was way too good.
I know. I played it down.
I still think that between the two Necros hits, they should have hit the Manju and Senju. At least instead of Brownek.
Yeah, I
Probably
agree.
should have.
Yeah, I think they should have taken an OCG approach and just go 1-1-1. Not necessarily hit Unicorn, but hit Manju, Senju, and prep.
It definitely slows them down. It
Yeah.
slows down their first turn.
But the fact that they still have their 6 normal summonable searchers, it really doesn't do much. I just think this card limited was very good because you can't just, if you have a simplified game state, you can't just top deck prep and get yourself back in the game anymore, Unfortunately, it is now a sack card, which I'm kind of upset
I
about.
can't wait.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait to get sacked by all these 1-0s.
Get blown out by prep.
It's gonna happen either way though.
Oh, yeah. Sacrifice.
I hate all of you.
I think this card was
Mike?
the perfect way to hit the deck. I think the further hits that they did, example Scout, was way too much.
I think they could have put a limited disc too.
No, I think this card had to be limited. This card had to be limited.
Leaving the other cards, if they just limited like sacrifice and disc,
I think that would have been way too much. This card is the only card I think they should have
I
had
would not
outside
have a
of the
problem with
floodgates.
that. Sacrifice and disc to 1.
Oh yeah,
I'll still play
because
the
you only
deck.
need one disc to win.
Stealth.
I just play 3 stealth.
Right,
But the
then
thing
it
is with
loses
this card-
the OTK, like loses that just like
There is no
OTK.
OTK anymore. Yeah, that's not
Right.
the point.
The problem with this card is that it has 4 effects. I think that's
It's
just
a
way too
lot.
good. It has way too many things going for it, and it just had to get hit. Without it, it does slow the deck down a lot. You can't be really, degenerate with it by just going search, sacrifice, monster, being super consistent. They do have that quick play that you mentioned,
Swords of Dawn.
Swords of Dawn,
It's a neat card.
which is cool because this is obviously going to be the first card you search. If you have a monster.
you don't search it; it adds it from your graveyard.
No, you
No,
search
this is the
with
first card you
Scout,
search.
Oh,
If you have a
yeah, yeah,
monster or vice versa. So when this is in the grave, Swords of Dawn, Tyler mentioned this. If you have like a carrier face up and you put him attacks, you can go Swords of Dawn, equip sacrifice to it. Now your sacrifice is back, your carrier lives,
And then you get an
and
extra
you're right
turn to
back
search
where
and
it
scout.
was before the ban
Is
list.
Swords of Dawn a trap or a quick play?
It's a quick play spell. So yeah,
So, yeah,
sacrifice.
I
would die at the end phase. I don't remember what Swords of Dawn exactly
I mean,
does, but
sacrifice does at the end phase.
Then you get your search.
I know.
you get your
I
search,
mean,
which is
there's
still
nothing
good.
wrong with it. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I mean that's still a decent play.
It's just the fact that they'll still have 3, so to speak, sacrifices.
Yeah,
it's just Swords of Dawn's not
I
sensible.
think that was a good hit. I think these
You
are.
think that was a good kick because
I
you're
think-
biased against the deck.
No, I hate it. I think these.
So these two, I don't think this card should have been limited.
I do.
I think it should have got
Biased
hit,
again.
not limited. This card had to get limited. I think this card is so stupid. I think this card is so unfair.
I have a general dislike of floodgates, so seeing those at 1, I like it a lot. But I think the problem is then you can no longer start playing around them and adjusting your plays to play around emptiness. So it's just like, oh well, if they have it, then they have it.
The issue with these is that the first person to have these has a huge leg up in for emptiness, an example. In the Necros mirror match, everybody who plays emptiness in the main now, the first person to get it is at a huge advantage.
Yeah.
The only real problem, playing Clifford's for 6 months, the only real problem I have with this going to 1 is that I have 7 Ultras. Even as
You took a little
player,
hit there.
This needed to go to 1. Emptiness, I still don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think, like, for how fast the game is, I think it had to stay at a higher number. Unfortunately, it's at 1, so really fun special summoning decks, like Sylvans, for example, or
Blue Boys.
Yeah, or Necros can go off.
I feel like because they hit these, they shouldn't have hit the Clifford stuff, or it should have been reversed. If they hit the Clifford stuff, they don't hit the floodgate.
Yeah, I think
the deck is just it's got nothing going for it anymore.
Yeah, I think that deck really kept the meta in check before, because it kept all like the roguey stuff out with skill drain. Well, it's skill drain limited now. The format's gonna be wide open. Yeah, Necros is probably gonna be the best deck by a long shot, but then you're gonna have 5, 6 other decks.
That are all
that second place spot.
and the thing is that they're probably all going to be special summon heavy.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm predicting a really heavy hand trap format. But it's off with those.
And then
That's it for the limited, right?
Yeah. Next video we'll come back with the
semi-limited
and the
unlimited.
unlimiteds.
All right, thank you guys. Tournament starting, so we're going to end the video here. We'll be back in a bit for the semi-limited and the unlimited.